Before the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's the scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now a carry here for Terrence West. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. And we get a quick peek at the Ravens starting offense.
This organization's identity for years has been its defense. But if you take a closer look at the offense in 2016, better than you might think. 17th overall, 12th in passing. They're looking to take the next step now to becoming a top 10 offense in the NFL.
On the ground, it's West again. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. And that is incomplete.
Now that's a great opening series defensively. You force what should be a 3 and out on your opening possession.
And great coverage there on 3rd down to force the incompletion to set up 4th. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. With it is Brown. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh coming off a disappointing loss in the Windy City to Chicago. They take the field. There's been Roethlisberger. And that loss in Chicago, Charles, broke a 9-game regular season winning streak for them.
So we know one thing about Pittsburgh. They know how to win. They also understand that one loss shouldn't derail what they do. But there is some cause for concern because we've heard their offensive guard, David DeCastro, their Pro Bowl player, talk about with all the weapons we have on offense and how we block on the offensive line, shouldn't we be scoring more points and putting up more yardage? So that's something that they'll be focused on going forward. But I'll bet you this. With Ben Roethlisberger at the helm, they'll figure it out.
And at the end of the day, they're still 2-1 going into week 4. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Well, the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. And McDonald here over the middle. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Well, I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Again, it's Bell. And he stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
Pittsburgh has long prided itself on being a defense-first team, but if you look at the last 3, 4, 5 seasons, it's been their offense that's led them. In 2016, they were 7th overall in total offense, and they can hit you through the air, on the ground. No matter what they do, they're hard to prepare for.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. The first NFL pick for Marlon Humphrey.
Some things you just accept as fact in the NFL, and one that is true, the Baltimore Ravens are going to attack you on defense and create turnovers and takeaways. Their secondary had 18 interceptions in 2016.
And that was tied for the most in the league. A chance for us again to look at this Pittsburgh defense. Their stay on the field last time was short-lived with a 3 and out. See if they can get some more of that.
And ordinarily, you want to be on the field playing, right? But 3 and outs, that's almost gold to a defense. Get to the bench, get some rest, turn the ball over to your offense.
We'll see what they can do here, see if they can force another 3 and out. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
2nd and 10, Flacco once more. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off, it's the Pro Bowl corner, Joe Hayden with it. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
A look at Pittsburgh now on offense, a group that only put up 17 points against Chicago in that Week 3 loss. But, Charles, gosh, the AFC North, they lost all 4 games last week.
Cleveland, not a surprise. They lost Indianapolis, but they did have a big, furious rally and almost got back into a tie. How about Baltimore going to London and getting thrashed by Jacksonville? And Cincinnati, maybe the surprise of the day, even though they lost, took Green Bay to the limit at Lambeau Field before losing in overtime. Hard as it is to believe, all of them lost, which means no one gained an advantage on Sunday.
That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
A first update now from Cleveland. And the Bengals out to the early advantage. Andy Dalton, a first quarter touchdown pass in that one. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13. And a look at Bell, who remains down after that play. Appears to have gotten shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And James has it. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So a turnover-filled first quarter of play comes to an end. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. First carry for James Conner, and he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. And one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
From the 2-yard line yet again. Let's see what they can do on 3rd and goal. Now it's Roethlisberger. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
And Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. And we were scoreless up until this point in the second quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along, or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They start on the ground with West. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far. And after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll run again here with West. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Third and just 1. It's Flacco. He's got it to West on the dump off. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his legs.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
First and 10 here for Flacco. That's caught out left by Perriman. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
With Steve Smith retiring, someone's got to fill the void as the #1 receiver for the Baltimore Ravens. And Brashad Perriman, going into his 3rd year, this needs to be his time.
First-round pick, of course, missed all of his rookie year with a knee injury, 33 catches last year.
He has the ability. Now he has to just go out and do it.
This is West. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the 2nd quarter, it has been a struggle. On 2nd down, Flacco to throw. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Passing play. Flacco underneath to Allen. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So on 4th down, Flacco off to the sidelines. He gives way to Justin Tucker. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
Yeah, as an offensive coordinator, if you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work. But in his defense, this has been a stifling defense so far. So they've got to start finding a way to unlock them as this game goes on.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. A reminder, later tonight, the Colts, they'll be in Seattle to take on the Seahawks. And then Monday night, it's the Redskins getting a second straight night game as they'll head down to Arrowhead to take on KC. We're in October already. Can you believe it?
No, I can't. This one's moving fast.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Chris Wormley. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work. But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much. Le'Veon Bell, kiss him goodbye. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, 79 yards. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with a Le'Veon Bell touchdown run. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now a penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Here's Flacco. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Hey, partner, let me take you league-wide for a second. Surprised right now that we only have 2 3-0 teams remaining, Atlanta and Kansas City?
After last week's games, yes, because a number of them came in with great momentum, and you thought that that would continue. I thought Tampa Bay would win at Minnesota and continue to be undefeated. You know, I thought that Oakland had a great chance to be undefeated after playing at Washington. But this league, parity is the word, and each and every week you better be ready to play. But with Atlanta and Kansas City, I thought Atlanta, they shook off the demons of that Super Bowl slump right there in the first game against Chicago when they won a close one, and they've elevated since then. In Kansas City, they continue to be red hot. The last couple of seasons, they've been hard to beat.
Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
All right, say it with me now. A lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty?
Yep.
Wiley? Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names?
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
Setting up to throw, Flacco. And Watson has it right side. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And again, it's Flacco to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Here's Sam Cook now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Got his man complete over the middle. It's McDonald. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown Steelers. Antonio Brown as time expires in the first half. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered. Defensively, a disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean, the excitement level goes way up, but maybe we shouldn't be, because I know as a defender, you've got to play the ball in this situation, but you can't interfere with the receiver because, remember, it's a spot foul, and it'd be first and goal if it happens in the end zone, and you don't want to give up that play, and that little bit of hesitancy often works really well for offensive guys.
It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front, as we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Ravens trail at home at halftime. The Steelers have looked good on the road and will just try to keep the ball rolling in the second half. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. 10 to late in the first. Here the defense will come up with the pick. Ravens defense gets off the field with the turnover. Steelers take over late in the second. Bell's able to get clear of the defense, and he'll end up sprinting into the end zone. That takes the lead up to 7. Staying late in the second. Mosley's going to push his way to the QB here. This will go as a loss of 10. Still a little time left on the clock. Roethlisberger looks long here to Brown. And 45 yards later, he'll go in for the score. That puts them up by 2 touchdowns.
All right, Larry, these two teams back out there as we get set and ready for this second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Le'Veon Bell, it's a foot race. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Ryan Shazier not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Here on second down. Oh, look over the middle, and he's got Perriman. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
The Ravens on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Flacco. And incomplete here on third down.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Now Brown. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really,
he's got a man complete. That goes for a gain of 31. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Roethlisberger will throw. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. You got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
They'll go for it with Bell. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. It's a gain of 7, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Another score from around the league, meanwhile, up in Cleveland. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Andy Dalton, 2 touchdown passes thus far. They go play action here on 1st down. He's got his man on the crossing route. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. On 1st down, Flacco. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to get it to Brett Perriman there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
To pass, Flacco. And he fires one that's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Boswell for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Throwing here on first down. Flacco. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Flacco to throw again on second down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Watson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
To throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. And his throw here's incomplete. The veteran Jeremy Maclin was the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Second and 10. Flacco once more. And that's going to be incomplete. Jeremy Maclin, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
Well, man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Third down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. Throw right side to Perriman, and it's caught. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Flacco to Perriman, and the Ravens have a first.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get...
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
Fresh set of downs here. Once more, it's Flacco. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Stephon Tuitt coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Second down, Flacco now. This one is incomplete. Macklin, the intended receiver, and now it's third down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Third and long for Joe Flacco. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Muscles him off. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Second down following the run. They go play action now. Roethlisberger throwing the out route incomplete. That's James. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Roethlisberger to his big target, James. All 6-7 of him for a Steeler first down.
Jesse James, 10 catches, 131 yards in the Steelers' 2 playoff games last year. A more than reliable tight end, a guy who can create big-time plays downfield. But let's face it, partner, you love calling that name in a game, don't you?
I do. But as we saw right there, he's really reliable on third down, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Jesse James.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Steelers on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Ben to throw again. And he's got Rodgers. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Roethlisberger finding Rodgers, and the Steelers convert on third down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So the Steelers with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Roethlisberger will hand to Connor. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Here's counter, and an alley to run. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there's points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we...
And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top. One of the fun parts about working with you is that we've learned that there are different ways to do things than the way we were brought up to do them. This is Madden. Of course they were going to go ahead and get another score. What do you mean take a knee?
And that just makes the final margin even more lopsided. I think they earned themselves a cold drink from the fridge, right?
There's no doubt about it.
Maybe some pretzels, too, some hummus. Go crazy.
See, we've learned.
Go crazy.
We have learned the Madden way of doing things.
It's up and good, and they add one more to what will wind up a fairly lopsided victory. Checking in on Houston, it's in the fourth quarter there. And it was the Titans who were able to take home the victory. Marcus Mariota, 2 touchdown passes in the W. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Pittsburgh, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll return home next week to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with the Raiders. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Baltimore, so long, everybody.